He was the undisputed master of suspense, a director whose very name became a genre. But the story of Alfred Hitchcock is far more twisted than any of his films. This isn't just about a brilliant filmmaker. It's about a man haunted by his own creations, a puppet master tangled in the strings of his own desires, culminating in a final, terrifying act that would rival his most shocking cinematic twist. Imagine a young boy, chubby and lonely, growing up in London. At just 5 years old, his father sends him to the local police station with a note. The officer reads it, locks the boy in a cell for 10 minutes, and says, "This is what we do to naughty boys." That boy was Alfred Hitchcock, and that moment of inexplicable terror became the seed for a lifetime of exploring fear. He wasn't afraid of monsters or ghosts. He was afraid of the ordinary, the policeman on the corner, the innocent stranger on a train. This was the birth of his genius, the terror of the mundane. Hitchcock didn't just direct films, he orchestrated them like a symphony of anxiety. He was a meticulous planner, storyboarding every single shot, every camera angle, every shadow. He called actors cattle and treated his sets like a laboratory for human emotion. He wasn't interested in their interpretation. He was interested in their reaction. He wanted real fear. To get it, he'd go to extraordinary lengths. He once had a prop man secretly chain an actress to a piece of equipment, then lost the key, just to capture her genuine panic. For his masterpiece, The Birds, he didn't use mechanical birds for the attack scenes. No, for a full week, he had live, panicked crows and gulls physically thrown at his star, Tippi Hedren, in a caged room. She suffered cuts, exhaustion, and a complete nervous breakdown. Hitchcock got his shot. He got his authentic terror. His obsession wasn't just professional. It was deeply personal. He developed a type, the cool, elegant, blonde actress. Grace Kelly, Kim Novak, Janet Leigh, and later, Tippi Hedren. He would meticulously mold them, choosing their clothes, their hairstyles, their makeup, both on and off screen. He wasn't just creating a character. He was attempting to sculpt his ideal woman. With Grace Kelly, he found a collaborator who understood his vision. But when she left Hollywood to become Princess of Monaco, Hitchcock was devastated. He felt betrayed, abandoned. He searched for a replacement, a new canvas for his art and his obsession. He found her in Tippi Hedren. At first, she was his protégé. He gave her a lucrative contract, a glamorous wardrobe, and the lead roles in The Birds and Marnie. But his control tightened into a suffocating grip. He dictated her personal life, monitored her friendships, and made advances that she consistently rejected. His behavior grew more and more possessive. He isolated her from the cast and crew, his affection curdling into a dark, psychological torment. When she finally fought back and refused to work with him again, he was enraged. He didn't fire her. He did something far more cruel. He kept her under contract for 2 years, paying her but refusing to let her work for any other director, effectively freezing her career at its peak. He couldn't possess her, so he chose to destroy her. For years, Hitchcock's genius overshadowed the darkness. He became a global icon, a charming, portly man with a dry wit who introduced his own television show. The world saw the quirky entertainer, the master of the macabre cameo. They didn't see the man who used fear as a tool, both on set and in his personal life. They celebrated the films but ignored the human cost of his art. The whispers of his tyrannical methods were dismissed as the eccentricities of a genius. But the truth, like in his films, was lurking just beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to emerge. As Hitchcock aged, his health declined. His last film, Family Plot, lacked the razor-sharp tension of his earlier work. The master was losing his touch. He was knighted by the Queen, a final, grand honor. But privately, he was a man consumed by regrets and haunted by the ghosts of the women he tried to control. He was surrounded by accolades, but felt profoundly alone. The boy in the cell once more. And now, for the final twist, the one he saved for the very end. Hitchcock died in 1980. His official cause of death was renal failure. He passed away peacefully in his sleep. In the final weeks of his life, confined to his home, Hitchcock began a new project. Not a film, but a script. His longtime assistant, Peggy Robertson, spoke of it in hushed tones years later. It was a story unlike any he'd ever written. The protagonist was an aging, revered film director, famous for his suspense films and his obsession with blonde actresses. The plot detailed how this director, realizing his creative powers were fading and consumed by guilt, decides to stage one final, perfect act of suspense: his own disappearance. The script was meticulously storyboarded, detailing how he would use his immense wealth to create a new identity, leaving behind a series of cryptic clues, a trail of breadcrumbs for the world to follow, a final game for his audience. The last page of the script was found on his bedside table after he died. It contained a single, handwritten sentence: "The greatest mystery is not who did it, but where did he go?" And then, a final storyboard panel, an empty bed. Was it just a story? The final fantasy of a dying artist? Or was it a confession? A plan? Think about it. Alfred Hitchcock, the man who controlled every frame of his films, every detail of his public persona. Does a man like that simply fade away? Or does he write his own ending? He taught us that the most terrifying things are those hidden in plain sight, that the most shocking twist is the one you never see coming. Perhaps his peaceful death wasn't the end of the story. Perhaps it was just the beginning of his final and greatest mystery. He made a career out of misdirection. Maybe, just maybe, his own death was the ultimate MacGuffin. The Master of Suspense is gone. But the mystery of Alfred Hitchcock has just begun. Thank you for watching. If you were captivated by this story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell so you never miss another journey into the shadows. What do you believe happened? Let us know in the comments below.